That number 8 Duke, North Carolina game postponed, rescheduled for February 20th. That's next Thursday. That means Duke is going to sandwich that game between a Tuesday roadie at Georgia Tech and a Saturday game against number 1 Syracuse. College basketball reporter Andy Katz joining us now on the phone with more. Andy, why did they postpone this one?
Well, if you've seen any of the video from that part of the country, the roads were impassable at this juncture. The North Carolina governor was on CNN earlier on Wednesday saying, when asked specifically about the Duke North Carolina game, that he was advising fans not even to go to the game. The rule of thumb usually in these instances is if the teams are already at the arena and the officials are there, then they play the game, even if there are no fans. And I think that's what would have happened, even as high-profile game as this in that instance. But Duke was not at North Carolina. Even though it's only 8 miles apart, the roads were that impassable. It's an area of the country obviously not used to this kind of wintry weather, and they weren't able to get their bus over to Durham to pick up the Blue Devils and transport them over to Chapel Hill. So Duke found out around between 5:30 and 6 o'clock this evening at their team meal from Coach K, who informed them the game would be postponed. He was on the phone prior to that, with his athletic director, Kevin White, Bubba Cunningham from North Carolina, Roy Williams, the head coach of North Carolina, the ACC officials, trying to figure out what was the best solution, and it was clear due to safety concerns not to play the game tonight.
Rescheduling that game for Thursday poses some issues as well for next Thursday, not tomorrow. Duke and North Carolina both going to have to play 3 games in 1 week. What are the challenges that these two teams are going to face by doing that?
Well, I mean, today's players are used to playing, AAU games, 3 games in a day. I don't think, that'll be that much of a big problem for players, because players like playing games more than practices. Clearly it's going to be a huge struggle for Duke, although they've handled, a tremendous road trip 2 weeks ago when they won at Pitt on a Monday, and then they almost won at Syracuse on a Saturday. So now playing North Carolina on the road on Thursday and then hosting Syracuse on a Saturday, it is a chore. It's not going to hurt them in seeding. It may hurt them in trying to win the ACC regular season title. But they really, according to all officials I spoke with or communicated with through text and everything, they had no choice. This was the available date they had to get everyone together, in the appropriate time frame to make sure they could squeeze this in. Obviously, it's a high-profile game. They want to make sure it was done correctly, put it on at night, because it is such a, obviously such a great ticket for their fan base. Carolina is not going to want to lose out on that kind of ticket.